And Colin, Cameron Diaz has said that you'd make a perfect Bond. Would you ever do it? And Taron, would you like to see Colin as Bond?
I don't think I need to see Colin as Bond because I've seen him as Harry Hart.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with Harry. I'd have loved to have played Bond, but yeah, I think we've marked out our own turf now.
Yeah, I agree.
And this has the potential to go on and on, like Bond has. What would you guys like to see in Kingsman 2?
Should be a prequel, probably, shouldn't it?
I don't know. I think I'd like to see it continue the trend, and I think there's, it's a Genesis story. It's an origin story, so I think it's in a lovely position to then explore further afield. The vast majority of the action takes place in the UK. Well, I mean, in terms of the story between Harry and Eggsy, it does go to other countries, but I suppose it would be nice to, I don't know, maybe take Kingsman international or something, I don't know.
Yeah, brilliant. And last question, it's a very fun movie, but it does also say some serious things about class. I'm just wondering if class was a theme that drew you to the project, and what your thoughts on that issue, but sort of today.
It's not what drew me to it, but it did strike me when I saw it. I think it had a lot more to say. I mean, I knew it was there because half the lines are mine when it comes to referencing class and the conversations I have with Michael Caine's character. But I was amazed how salient it was when you watch the film. Also, when you just see the images of where he grew up and then the Savile Row tailor's shop and the pretentiousness of Michael Caine's character, and you realise how familiar it is. That stuff really is alive and well. He's not really one of us. It doesn't matter what kind of skills he might bring. He didn't go to the right school. I think that's alive. I went to a comprehensive, and acting is where it's a kind of happy hunting ground of reinvention, and people assume I went to a public school and treat me as if I went to a public school and talk to me as if I went to a public school. And but the school I went to, as a comprehensive, we were streamed into according to academic ability, A, B, and C. But I don't think there was anything to do with academic ability. I think it was a class presumption. I went to that school, and they talked to me and my parents, and they put me in the top stream because we were well spoken, and I wasn't tested. It's a pure class assumption, and the people in stream 3 were judged to be they were in the metalwork room and the woodwork room. There were a lot of us in stream A that would have been very happy in the metalwork and woodwork room, and I think I might have been one of them. And people in the metalwork room that should have been doing Latin, and but I think it was basically at the age of 11. People were siphoned off and categorised from quite an early age, and so it's certainly very, very familiar to me at the time. And if I hadn't been an actor where you can pretend, I think it might have been my education, the kind of school I went to might have been a very strongly determining factor in going forward.
I mean, my parents are working class Liverpudlians, and I was, raised in Wales from a very young age. So I suppose I kind of would fall under that bracket of a working class actor, really. And I don't know, there's something quite lovely about. I mean, there's a lot of talk now. I mean, you read a lot about people asking where all the working class actors have gone, and saying that drama schools are very elitist. And I mean, I know for a fact it's not true based on my own experiences, but there is something lovely about Eggsy being the hero and championing people who aren't from a more privileged background.